Hello, I am your host for today, Captain Skullhead. I have a skull for a head. Yes, do not be put off by it. So, today I am here doing a vlog type review of a of a movie of my choice. That is what Random Ross had said. So here we go with a movie that I have personally chose myself to review. And also, this is probably going to be one of the last videos that I will do before I have to go back to my dimension on Halloween night of midnight when it turns to the 1st of November. Then I will have to be taken there and I will have to stay there for at least a few months before I can go to a radioactive nuclear place and feed on the radiation to maintain my powers. So, today I am reviewing the movie which is a slasher classic, Scream. Now, Random Ross has told me many times that he lost his virginity to this movie, as it was the first proper true horror movie that he'd watched. And I am going to review it because he gets too emotional about it being his first horror movie, and he's asked me, review a movie of your choice. When I told him I wish to review Scream, he said, fine, review Scream, but just, remember I lost my virginity to this movie. Okay, so let's get to it. So, Scream, directed by the late Wes Craven, God rest his soul. Starts where a young woman picks up a telephone, and she is played by Drew Barrymore. Now, you think that she is going to be our main and protagonist, but you'll be assuming wrong. What happens in the movie is she is getting a phone call from a mysterious man, a scary man. She then finds out that the man is none other than a deranged killer and torments her by threatening to kill her if she does not answer some trivia horror movie questions. Like, first of all, what is the name of the killer in Halloween? Michael Myers. She gets it correct, but then she has to answer another one to save her boyfriend who is tied up on the patio outside. She gets it incorrect by them asking, who is the killer in Friday the 13th? She says Jason, but it is actually his mother Pamela Voorhees, played by also the late Betsy Palmer. Anyway, she then gets chased, and then she is obviously killed. When her parents arrive, they find the popcorn that she was making because they were getting ready to watch a movie. They find her disemboweled and hanging on a tree. And then we go to our proper protagonist, Sydney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell. She is her and her boyfriend are in their relationship and are trying to make that vast decision whether to go all the way. Then, of course, she then finds that she is a victim getting chased by the killer Ghostface. But of course, she is not as stupid as the cliché teen would be. Anyway, she also has trouble with her past, with it being the anniversary of her mother's death. And also, it is terrible. It's a horrible experience for when someone loses a loved one. Anyway, as I go on, the film then has her trying to avoid being a victim of Ghostface. I'm almost saying Leatherface because, again, Ghostface has the name Face on its title. So anyway, she then gets to become friends with this man named Randy, who is like a typical horror nerd who knows every survival skill on to survive a horror movie. Basically, if you want to know how to survive and you want someone to talk you through the rules, basically watch the bit in Scream where he is also telling you the rules. Anyway, as we go on, the killer is unknown. His identity is unknown. And also, Sydney is being stalked by Gail Weathers, played by Courtney Cox. And also, the Sheriff Dewey, played by David Arquette, who were once a real-life couple, but then divorced. They asked if they, when doing Scream 4, would it be awkward, but no, they remain good friends. Anyway, they all get hunting on the Leatherface. At one point, they decide to have a party, towards the end, of course. But of course, they do not know that Ghostface is lurking nearby. They find out, they then watch the movie Halloween from John Carpenter, which is again a horror movie classic. And of course, they all start saying terrible and funny things and taking the biscuit out of it. But then Randy comes and tells them that that there are certain rules into surviving a horror movie. And he tells them all, do not have sex, do not take drugs, do not say I'll be right back. Although Stu, who is a character also and is a very good friend of Billy Loomis, who is Sidney's boyfriend, tells them that he's going to get a beer and he will be right back. Of course, little does he know that, well, he sort of is back. Anyway, a young woman in it who is Sidney's best friend and, well, Dewey's sister, as I forgot to mention earlier into this review, she is, approached by the killer Ghostface. Thinking it is someone screwing around, she just thinks nothing of it. Stupid bitch. She is going to get herself killed. Anyway, she tries to make a pathetic attempt to escape by getting through a cat flap. That just enables her to get killed and dead. So anyway, Sydney and her boyfriend Billy Loomis, no relation to Dr. Sam Loomis from the Halloween movies. Anyway, they are going on, and they decide to engage in sexual activity and finally go all the way. So Billy takes her virginity. After that, she is also, I forgot to mention, earlier into the film, Sydney is come face to face with Ghostface, but then is startled when her boyfriend Billy arrives, through the window of course. But he is then caught with a phone and a knife, and is then arrested, but then soon released due to lack of evidence and him not making the creepy phone calls to her. Anyway, he then tells her after they both have make-up sex and also taking their virginity, he says that what has he got to do to prove that he is not the killer. We then see him get stabbed by the killer himself. Sydney is running, and then she makes the discovery that her boyfriend Billy and his best friend Stu, played by Matthew Lillard, are both the killer, Ghostface. So then, of course, they want to make a big success of it, and they want to put the blame on Sydney's father, who they had tied up the whole time. Of course, the rest of the party is distracted by the principal being killed and hung in the, in the American football field. Of course, this then gives them the big advantage to spill the beans and tell them what has happened, that they are the killer's Ghostface. Also, the principal in it, he was played by Fonzie from, well, as we know him as from Happy Days. So we then see that they want to wound each other and put the blame on Sydney's father, also killing Sydney in the process. But Sydney, she uses her brain and is a smart one. She goes and stops them. Yes, and puts up a good fight. Randy in it, played by Jamie Kennedy, who is the horror nerd, is happy that he is a virgin and that he has survived. But then, of course, she kills Stu by overpowering him, by killing him and shooting him into the head. Then, of course, there is Billy, who she also kills. But Randy warns her that this is the part where the killer wakes up and has his last scare, which he does. Sidney then shoots him in the head, killing him. And that is the end of them two. So then everyone who has survived, Dewey, Gail, the news reporter after her cameraman was murdered in front of her, they all survive along with, Randy. And of course, does it stay open for a sequel? Well, yes, it does. Scream 2. Also, I forgot to mention, Sydney's mother, she was believed to have been murdered by a guy, I can't remember his name, but he was played by Schreiber or something. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but that is the name of the actor who was playing the guy who was in it. Anyway, we then have sequels, such as Scream 2, a year after. Scream was released in 1996, Scream 2, 1997, Scream 3, 2000. It was meant to be the conclusion of a horror trilogy, but of course, in 2011 we had Scream 4, which was for a whole new generation. But the movie Scream has also inspired a TV series on MTV. Someone using torture devices. Anyway, it inspired a TV series of the same name, which is basically like a reboot as well, produced by the late Wes Craven. Well, executive produced. Wes Craven, a great man indeed in his directing career. So sad that he passed away. But we all know that his movies are forever immortal and will live on. Well, so yes, it was on MTV in America, sorry, and also Netflix in the UK. But anyhow, yes, the Scream TV show has been renewed for a second season, so we can look forward to another season if you're into that. Random Ross was not too impressed with the first episode of the season, but he decided to give a few more episodes a chance to see if it gets any better. It does, but he still prefers the original. Like Sidney Prescott said in the fourth installment, do not fuck with the original. And of course, you should not, but, they do in TV. Anyway, it has been renewed for a second season. Random Ross has told me that he's watched the entire series, and it's just like the movie with the twist where they reveal the identity of the killer. But of course, it is going to be back for a second season. Randall Ross, he says he'll give it a watch, but he will always remain loyal to the original films. I do not have a heart, but he does, and he did that. I ought to find a heart and take it from someone. Anyway, this has been my review on the movie Scream, and yes, it is all my opinion. I would definitely recommend it. It is also one of Random Ross's favorite slasher movies. It all takes place in the fictional town of Woodsboro, except for Scream 3, which is in Hollywood, Los Angeles. Anyway, apparently this is the part where he has no more to say, and he tells you to leave a comment down below. So please do that and give me your thoughts on Scream. Also, he is on social media, so he'll put links to his Facebook, so please like him on there, and also on his Twitter, so you can follow him and stay updated about his channel and what he does when he's not on this YouTube. What else was he telling me to say? Oh yes, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to share, please also share it. Also, subscribe if you wish to see more, and he will see you after this. Well, like I said, this is probably going to be my last video on this channel. So, I wish you all a very happy Halloween, and I will go back to my dimension from midnight when it turns to November 1st. I have enjoyed it in this world, but of course, I am just a Halloween character for this channel. So yes, but I will hopefully see you all next year in October time. I have enjoyed this channel doing the monster files and the psycho files. Anyway, I want to wish you all a very happy Halloween and have a good of whatever the rest of the year has left to offer you. Also, I hope to see you, well, Random Ross says I am more than welcome to come back next year, so that is good. Anyway, I would like to say goodbye now, and we hope to meet again. Also, there is another review coming. It is from Dr. Frico, so keep an eye out for him. He will go over to his dimension of insanity. Goodbye.